Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds will be a no-show at Met Gala. Popular couple, often a fixture at the event.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were definitely uninvited from the Met Gala.
They were Hollywood's golden duo, charismatic, charming, and seemingly untouchable. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds built careers and a marriage on that carefully polished image. But all of a sudden, they've vanished from the biggest red carpet event of the year, and the rumor mill is going wild with whispers that it wasn't exactly their choice. If you thought it was just an innocent scheduling conflict, think again.
Their reputations are ruined. It's got nothing to do with their legal war against Justin Baldoni.
This is the story of a band so epic that it's left even their most loyal fans asking, what on earth happened?
Who is going to want to work with them, especially as more and more comes out, especially as discovery comes out and depositions? To me, their careers are over.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who are usually major highlights at the Met Gala, have been noticeably missing from the event lately, causing people to wonder if they've been left out on purpose. In 2023, Lively said she wouldn't attend, even though she co-chaired the year before, joking that she would just be watching from home.
But please do not come. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Ms. Wintour, I would ask that you not extend the invitation, but I think you probably know better.
She and Reynolds then also skipped the 2024 gala, which upset fans who see Lively as a fashion favorite. Things got even more interesting in 2025, when a leaked guest list suggested Anna Wintour's lineup took a hit because the couple wouldn't be on the carpet. A source close to them insisted they chose not to go months in advance and that it had nothing to do with their legal issues.
So then we keep walking, and this guy says to me, oh, hey, Bethany, you know Justin. He was on your podcast. And he's in this one line, and we say hello to each other. I didn't remember who he was. I don't know why. But we say hello to each other. He was very nice. I think he was wearing purple. And he's in this one theater. And then we think this, we saw him, so we're just going into the theater. Not usually, always, unless it's a weird different screenings, the premiere is in one giant theater, and there might be like an overflow theater, okay?
Still, after years of being gala regulars, their absence sparked rumors of hidden conflict. Some people even called it a ban, especially since the couple's reputations have recently taken a downturn, and missing the gala might have helped them dodge more media drama. While there's no proof of an actual ban, the fact that these two, who ruled the Met Gala in 2022, are now staying away from fashion's biggest night certainly grabs attention.
Too long to stand there in stilettos, and so I see one of Blake's team members, and they're a little distant and a little icy to me. Just there's something that I'm like, oh wow, okay.
TMZ even said the gala lost two of its brightest stars this year, which is surprising given Lively's long history with the event. Overall, their no-show has led many to believe that Wintour and top fashion insiders are quietly stepping back from the couple, adding to the sense that their place in the A-list spotlight may be fading. It all started with a few quiet murmurs, the kinds of rumors that swirl inside exclusive Hollywood circles and behind velvet ropes.
And in other circumstances, this person is not this way, and it was slightly off-putting to Danielle and I. We both noted it. And then it was one of these theaters that has all these escalators in it. Okay, so we're like, what do we do? So we go to get margaritas. And that night, I had a malfunction, my strap came off, and we went to drink margaritas. I think it was raining, and we were walking outside in the rain, and it was just a mess.
But soon enough, the talk broke into the mainstream. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been uninvited from the Met Gala. That's right, uninvited, not declining to attend. When Anna Wintour, the famously powerful orchestrator of fashion's biggest night, allegedly wields the power to remove you from her guest list, it might as well be a death knell for your red carpet dreams.
But here, he's in one theater, something's going on somewhere else. I saw Anna walk this way. So they take us and they put us all the way to the left in this theater where nobody was in this theater. And it was just strange. It felt like everybody was separated. And I just called Danielle to be oh my God. Everybody was separated. I mean, now we're hearing about everybody being separated, and the vibe was off.
And in an industry that runs on image, that sort of exile can poison an entire career. For years, Blake and Ryan were the kind of couple who'd walk hand in hand down any red carpet, drawing cheers and lighting up cameras. Blake was Anna Wintour's darling, appearing on multiple Vogue covers, wearing custom gowns that had fashion enthusiasts praising her style.
But she and Ryan don't always show up, and they've actually skipped last year too.
Ryan, meanwhile, cultivated a public persona that balanced humor, charm, and just enough humility to feel relatable. The two together seemed unstoppable, living a fairy tale existence that audiences lapped up. But in Hollywood, fairy tales rarely last, and the cracks in this one started with something seemingly unrelated, a string of abrupt controversies that tainted their perfect image. There was the conversation about their wedding venue, a plantation site that had many people cringing at its historical implications.
We're very used to seeing like a Blake, right? She's very unkind to reporters, and genuinely I think that there's just a lack of a better word there. She seems to hate the press junkets over the years. She barely seems to enjoy her fans. She kind of thinks that she's above her fans, thinks she's above the press, and is just always rude.
Over the years, they addressed it only superficially. Apologies never really landed in a convincing way, and for many onlookers, it felt like an avoidance tactic. Then came rumors of behind-the-scenes attitudes, with some insiders painting Blake as rude to reporters or cold to her fans. Even if only a fraction of these stories were true, it was enough to seed doubt. When these hints of trouble first appeared,
even her best friends have not come to her defense. No one in Hollywood, all of the people all the people that they've been around, no one has come to their defense, especially Gigi Hadid and Taylor Swift. We know Taylor Swift wants nothing to do with her anymore.
Blake and Ryan's fans tried to shrug them off as overblown gossip. But soon, the Whisper network expanded. Studio executives hinted that the pair was difficult. Brand reps went quiet about why certain endorsement deals never went forward. Taylor Swift, once a close friend to Blake, stopped posting supportive pics, and Gigi Hadid, another rumored friend, shifted attention elsewhere. It wasn't a single explosive moment that drove these two off Hollywood's stage.
And so what I didn't tell anybody, because I was like, we'll be canceled, was we left. Because the vibes were not vibing. Like wasted hair, makeup, outfit to go to the city, drink a margarita in a mason jar, take a bucket of popcorn, take 2 bites, see Anna Wintour.
It was more like a slow drip of tension that eventually flooded their once impenetrable fortress. And that's where Justin Baldoni comes in. Most know him from television or from his own directorial pursuits. He's a rising figure in Hollywood. He's also the mind behind adapting the best-selling novel It Ends With Us for the big screen. Blake was cast in it with great fanfare, promising what could have been the role of her lifetime.
And we come back to see the movie. I'm excited to see the movie. And because I love Blake Lively, I'm so excited. So we walk upstairs and we see Anna Wintour. She passes us and I'm like, oh my God, wow, we'll do that another time, but like, let's park that.
Then, everything spiraled. Rumors spread that she was trying to rewrite scenes, redesign wardrobes, and even lock herself in the editing bay to get her version of the film, against Baldoni's direction and the studio's wishes. Before you know it, legal documents were filed, accusations surfaced, and everyone was left wondering how an actress once praised for her glamorous style and sweet demeanor could be feuding so fiercely with a director who had seemed excited to have her on board.
But this was around the time she married Ryan Reynolds in September 2012. Wedding planning or personal commitments might have played a role. 2015, Blake gave birth to her first child, daughter James, in December 2014. So she was likely prioritizing motherhood, or probably felt like she was in shape enough to attend.
According to leaked notes, Blake demanded designer outfits for her character that made little sense for a woman who, in the novel, had more humble roots. And these weren't just subtle disagreements. Budget lines reportedly exploded by the hundreds of thousands. One rumor even claimed Blake threatened to throw around serious allegations like harassment if she didn't get her final say in the film's cut.
As rich and as wealthy as Blake and Ryan were, she was not about to spend money on a private jet to leave LA and leave the editing bay to make the Met Gala when she really didn't have any more time to waste, because she had to turn this movie over to them as early as May 8th, and she still didn't do that and didn't turn it over till May 10th.
In a perfect world, you could chalk up these disputes to creative differences and move on. But Hollywood thrives on relationships, unspoken loyalties, and a need to protect reputations at all costs. If you develop a track record of being too difficult, studios get nervous. Brands get anxious, especially ones that rely on a squeaky clean star image to sell products.
So tell me how she was gonna make the Met Gala from California, because it was being edited on Sony studio lots in Culver City, California. Considering the Met Gala was on May 6, 2024, and the Met Gala is held in New York.
And in a place like the fashion industry, where Anna Wintour's word is practically law, any sign of disrespect or challenge can doom your ability to walk certain carpets. So, while the rumor of Blake's showdown with Justin Baldoni caught fire, the tension with Anna Wintour simmered quietly. At first, no one knew exactly what had caused a shift in that relationship, only that something felt off.
So what was Blake doing last year instead of being at the Met Gala? You guessed it. Too busy hijacking Justin Baldoni's film, because May 3rd to May 8th, we are confirmed she was definitely in the editing bay trying to give us her cut of It Ends With Us.
Then came a leaked email that changed everything. An internal message suggesting Blake had accused Anna Wintour of favoritism toward Baldoni. If you think calling the Queen of Vogue biased is no big deal, you don't know how that world works. That's the kind of move that ends alliances overnight. And once that alliance ended, things got bleak for Blake and Ryan.
But no, they're not passing on the Met Gala this year. They are not invited. Let's be for real.
In the past, skipping the Met Gala every so often might have felt casual or chalked up to personal reasons, like the birth of a child, filming commitments, or so-called family time. But this time, people in the know hinted that it wasn't a casual skip at all. It was a direct snub, when insiders confirmed they were simply not invited to the 2025 event.
She had, we don't know why she didn't attend. I'm sure if I dug through the receipts, we could figure out why. Now, 2023, Blake confirmed she wouldn't attend, stating she'd be watching from home instead. She had given birth to her fourth child with Ryan Reynolds earlier that year, exact date unconfirmed. But
the narrative got spun quickly. They're too busy. They're focusing on personal projects. They're choosing to skip. Yet one glance at the details of the Baldoni fiasco and the unexpected meltdown of their public standing made the truth obvious. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had just been shut out by one of their most powerful supporters. Hollywood didn't hesitate to notice, and the cold shoulder was immediate. Powerful social circles have a way of protecting themselves.
Blake and Ryan would definitely steal the spotlight. What? Just like they did at their latest public appearance on February's SNL 50.
Once the ban from the Met Gala emerged, other top-tier events seemed to close ranks. The couple had previously been staples at these glamorous gatherings, shining in photos alongside influential designers, producers, and co-stars. Now, they weren't just off certain guest lists, they were the subject of quiet conversations about how risky it might be to stay close to them.
Them and the case and what liars and manipulators they are. I mean, I want you guys to think about it. Even her best friends have not come to her defense. It was heavily criticized by everyone. Even people in the audience were looking at them as though they were insane. So that tells you a lot.
This is where the question of image truly hits. Studios don't invest in projects that attract negativity and controversy. Sponsors don't want ambassadors who could cause the brand more drama than buzz. Friends with big Hollywood names don't want to appear locked in with a couple swirling in lawsuits, rumored tyrannical editing demands, and questionable social controversies. Blake and Ryan's camp tried to keep it all under wraps, releasing vague statements, talking about family time, or implying that certain commitments were long-standing.
It's because she had just had a baby or was pregnant, or it was the pandemic. Those are the reasons why. But they're trying to act like, oh, she just hasn't attended. Is she pregnant again? Is she about to give birth? Like what?
Yet behind the scenes, managers and publicists were scrambling. Even so, no matter how much spin the PR machine put out there, the story took on a life of its own. Fans on social media pointed to old interviews, analyzing perceived arrogance or rudeness. Others recalled times when Blake brushed off fan interactions or press junkets with an attitude that felt dismissive.
Cheer. Huh? The couple served as co-hosts to the 2022 Met Gala alongside Regina King and Lin-Manuel Miranda, a year that celebrated, okay, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe these were small moments on their own, but in the context of a major meltdown, people piece everything together like a puzzle, and the resulting picture wasn't flattering. It only got worse with each public misstep. One glaring example was their appearance on Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special. It should have been an easy crowd pleaser, a chance to show off that signature quick wit and comedic flair.
Ryan filed the dismissal docs Tuesday, calling Justin thin-skinned.
Private text messages and other documents that we've obtained reveal what really happened.
So right there, Chris, that's not an opinion. That's not a maybe. That's not a what really happened. Now, is that going to be problematic for them moving forward?
Yet the vibe in the audience felt off. They appeared in denial, smiling and laughing like it was all business as usual. Viewers at home, already well aware of the swirling controversies, found the couple's carefree stance off-putting. The mismatch between the tension-laden rumors and their everything's awesome demeanor rang hollow. Instead of reeling the public back in, it fueled more cynicism.
But it is alleged that she strong-armed them because, and if they didn't allow her to do this, that she was going to allege the sexual harassment stuff.
Critics didn't hold back, pointing out how the couple seemed to be performing a sanitized version of themselves, hoping no one would notice the chaos behind the curtain. Some fans even described it as tone-deaf, slamming them online for ignoring the controversies that were piling up. The entire spectacle reinforced the idea that they were living in a bubble and refused to acknowledge any wrongdoing or negativity. If they hoped that SNL special would help them regain some popularity points.
Now I want to show you this because this is how hilarious it is. So in Elle magazine, it says here, of course, make it bigger. where they have these insiders saying Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are not planning to.
The backlash proved how far their standing had fallen. And then there's Anna Wintour's role in all this, arguably the most dramatic piece of the puzzle. The woman behind Vogue is known for her discretion, rarely commenting on who's in or out. She doesn't have to. Her decisions speak louder than any words. Inviting Blake as a co-chair in 2022 was a massive endorsement, one that positioned Blake as a global fashion icon.
She was too busy trying to take this movie, It Ends With Us, from Justin Baldoni, and was editing her cut that she forced on Sony, and she had no right to do.
But when you challenge the person who designs the entire landscape of the Met Gala, you're not just burning bridges, you might be torching your own career. Word got out that Blake's private message, accusing Wintour of playing favorites with Baldoni, crossed a line. In the fashion world, loyalty matters almost as much as the clothes. To suggest that Wintour, someone who has championed countless stars, was biased?
Even though there was never an HR complaint about it, Sony has confirmed this. So, Blake and Ryan, you're not fooling anyone. We have clocked you. We have the receipts. We have the tea.
It came off as both personal and public betrayal. In an environment this elite, those who question the authority of a powerhouse like Anna rarely bounce back easily. The hush-hush nature of the fashion industry only makes the fallout more severe. The rumors swirl, but there's seldom an official statement confirming or denying them. All people see is a carefully groomed star suddenly vanishing from the scene.
Blake Lively sued Jamie Heath, Justin Baldoni, etc. after they collectively launched a retaliatory social manipulation campaign to destroy and bury her because she privately spoke up about sexual harassment and inappropriate conduct.
Officially, the story spun through tabloids is that Blake and Ryan simply decided not to attend. Unofficially, every insider is whispering about how their seats were revoked weeks ago. PR outlets can churn out pre-written lines all day, but receipts, from emails to event logs, paint a harsher reality. Anna, with one flick of her pen, effectively removed them from the guest list.
But the display also had critics bashing the moment. Of course, the married couple is currently entangled in a legal battle with Baldoni over the drama surrounding the movie It Ends With Us.
Suddenly, everything that made this couple so adored, the comedic banter, the philanthropic gestures, the style, seems overshadowed. They're like actors who've stepped off the stage mid-performance, leaving the audience to murmur uncomfortably in the dark. Studios now question whether casting them invites drama, especially if they have a reputation for hijacking editing rooms or blowing past budgets. Fashion brands that once lined up to dress Blake might back away, worried they'll be tainted by association.
She also slammed the $400 million in damages he is seeking, claiming that he and his Wayfair Studios co-plaintiffs didn't even try to explain its basis, much likely specifically alleged their so-called injuries.
And fans who once watched her twirl in dazzling Met Gala gowns are asking if the real Blake is someone entirely different from that radiant persona. Behind the scenes, the pair's publicists are likely discussing whether to embark on a reputation repair tour. Traditionally, when stars stumble, they pop up on talk shows, deliver apologies, and promise to do better. But so far, Blake and Ryan have stayed silent.
Attend the 2025 Met Gala per a report shared by TMZ on Friday. A source told Us Weekly that the news is actually not so surprising.
No grand acknowledgments, no heartfelt confessions, and definitely no direct apology to Anna Wintour. Maybe they believe it'll blow over, or maybe they're weighing their options, hoping that by laying low, the uproar will fade. The catch is that in an era where the internet never forgets, controversies often resurface with renewed force. Every interview clip, every legal document, every leaked email can be dredged up in seconds.
I think there were moments where the judge was calling both of them out. He was attempting to keep things being neutral, but there were definitely moments where Brian's arguments felt stronger than the other side.
Worse yet, Hollywood's memory runs long, particularly when loyalty has been tested. If you snub or insult the wrong power players, people rarely forget. Whether it's out of respect for those gatekeepers or fear of their own careers taking a hit, most industry folks fall in line. That means fewer creative collaborations, fewer brand endorsements, and fewer high-profile invites.
It seemed like she was very nervous about medical records being revealed, and it seemed very evident that her lawyers were instructed to ensure that her celebrity relationships, third party, all that stuff was off the table, is what I felt.
And here's a story for you. Lively vs. Baldoni. How right-wing influencers are weaponizing the fight to take down #MeToo.
The ripple effect is brutal. Even for audiences, the luster is gone. People who once admired their romance and comedic interplay now comb through old footage, noticing every subtle flash of what they interpret as arrogance or irritation. The sparkly veneer has worn off, replaced by skepticism. Fans have latched onto stories of them being standoffish, rude, or manipulative. Stories that might have died down, if not for all the other controversies.
saying Blake and Ryan haven't gone since 2022, where they were co-chairs, and they will not be in attendance this year.
When you're beloved, you get the benefit of the doubt. But once the tide turns, every slip becomes proof of your downfall. So where does that leave them now? Staring at a horizon where they risk becoming tabloid fodder instead of red carpet royalty. The Met Gala fiasco, in particular, is more than just a single missed event. It's a public symbol of exclusion from the very circles they use to dominate.
She wants this credit, she wants this credit, she wants her edits. And they were able to do this by threatening to release information about them, right? Essentially saying, we're gonna say that there were sexual harassment claims on set, and if we don't get what we want, then there's gonna be big trouble for you.
It stands as a stark warning to any other star who thinks they can cross certain lines and come out unscathed. If Blake and Ryan don't course correct, they might drift into a kind of Hollywood no man's land, where minor roles or niche projects are all that remain. If studios are even willing to take that chance, they could attempt a comeback in a few years.
We don't think we should have to present some of our text messages in Discovery with our high-profile clients, that being Taylor Swift and whoever else. Some people say Bradley Cooper and whatever other friends of Blake Lively might get sucked into this.
Let everything cool off, and then quietly re-emerge hoping people's memories have dulled. But with so many receipts and a still brewing legal battle, forgiveness isn't guaranteed. Even the most talented publicist can't bury a fiasco this large forever. In a different scenario, they might surprise everyone. Maybe they'll issue a strategic apology or set the record straight about what really happened.
Is what I felt. It felt almost like nervously so from her team of how much that clearly was the most important thing for them.
Perhaps they'll settle with Justin Baldoni, bridging any professional gap and mending industry fences. Or they could accept that the glitz and glam of the top-tier stage is no longer theirs, choosing a quieter route. At this point, it's anybody's guess. What's almost certain is that their next step, or lack of it, will be dissected under a microscope. Reflecting on their story feels like a cautionary tale about the fragility of celebrity culture.
Justin Baldoni's side argued that they think that she shouldn't receive any preferential treatment because she's famous, and we need to see all this information. We'll redact it, we'll keep it from the public, and they say, no, you'll leak it.
1 minute, you're everyone's favorite couple, co-hosting galas, being photographed with the creme de la creme of both fashion and film. The next, your persona non grata, with swirling rumors about diva attitudes, financial blowouts, and a meltdown that's far too big to hide. It might be easy to dismiss this as just another Hollywood drama, but it also exposes a bigger truth.
The source explained, Blake is unsure about the future of her career because of the backlash she has received. She does not want to have a family with no income, and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived the fallout.
Once you lose the trust of fans and industry power brokers, it's a steep hill to climb back up. Blake and Ryan's saga raises a simple but chilling question. Can you survive in Hollywood once your curated image crumbles? Or is the system built to cast you aside the moment you challenge the status quo? They tried to keep everything afloat with well-placed jokes and polished statements, but they may have underestimated how fast the winds can change when your biggest supporters slam the door.
They're trying to be positive and support each other. There are good days and bad days for both of them. So I don't know if this is supposed to be like, is this supposed to make people feel sorry for them?
The final question is, will they let it all burn or find a way to rebuild? At this point, nobody knows, and maybe they don't even know. They could attempt to patch things up privately or go on the offensive with a PR push. They might ignore the noise and keep forging ahead like nothing happened. Risky, though that is. And with each passing day, the silence from their once adoring fans and famous friends grows louder.
I don't know how much is going to come through in the transcript that can be read now, but audibly, because we were able to call in to that hearing and listen to it, there did seem to be a lot of stress and a lot of tension, particularly when it came to those points.
When the watchers on social media, the brand moguls, and the fashion overlords are all nodding in agreement that you've gone too far, it becomes excruciatingly difficult to regain lost ground. For now, one thing remains certain. If there was ever a sign that your star power is fading, being unceremoniously barred from the Met Gala is it. And if even Anna Wintour has shut the door, you can bet others in Hollywood are getting in line to do the same.
New articles come out sort of weaponizing the political ideologies that might be trying to dismantle beliefs involved in this case.
The next chapter for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hangs in the balance. Will they attempt redemption or let the empire they built crumble around them? Whether you're a sympathizer believing they're misunderstood or a skeptic who saw it coming, there's no denying the unfolding drama is both mesmerizing and cautionary. Perhaps that's the biggest takeaway. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Blake Lively blasted Justin Baldoni's vengeful and rambling $400 million lawsuit against her as a profound abuse of the legal system.
The same spotlight that once highlighted your every success can just as quickly illuminate your every flaw. The question remains, will they attempt to douse the flames, Or will they walk away from the pyre, letting their entire legacy go up in smoke? Only time and their next moves will tell. Where do you stand on Blake and Ryan's predicament? Are you waiting on an apology, or do you think they'll remain silent?
We left because the vibes were not vibing. Like wasted hair, makeup, outfit to go to the city, drink a margarita in a mason jar, take a bucket of popcorn, take 2 bites, see Anna Wintour, see Justin Baldoni, and left to go back to Connecticut. Like, talk about blue balls.
And how many times can you cross the gatekeepers of Hollywood and fashion before you're officially out? One thing's for sure. Right now, that door's been closed, and it might stay that way for a very long time.